It became a time where like when we was getting together, it just wasn't connecting. And I was just like, ain't no money in the group. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to the studio together. I'm doing a feature. People calling for the City Girls. You know, it's either me or it's you. It just wasn't connecting no more. And I just felt like that's what really made me like start my own brand. Like, I got to do something because I'm in this group. The group ain't making no money.
Young Miami recently discussed Diddy for the first time since his legal issues began in an interview with the Sultry Santa on her podcast, Carissa, Please. As you are well aware, Diddy has recently been the subject of intense government inquiry, particularly in light of the lawsuits that Cassie and his producer Lauren filed against him. He has had a difficult time dealing with allegations of sexual assault, domestic abuse, and even human trafficking. Young Miami also became embroiled in some of Diddy's problems. Young Miami was Diddy's escort and was reportedly involved in drug use and trafficking, according to Lauren's lawsuit. Additionally, Young Miami fueled the flames with remarks on Diddy's girlfriend Gina V, which appeared to align with Cassie's claims that Diddy coerced her into doing things while intoxicated. Young Miami benefited from her time with Diddy in spite of the chaos. He even invested in her merchandise, such as candles, and assisted her in launching her podcast, Carissa Please, on his Revolt network, which he no longer owns. Additionally, he brought her to prestigious occasions like the Met Gala, which enhanced her reputation. Young Miami once believed she didn't need the City Girls as much, especially because they were having financial difficulties prior to her relationship with Diddy. It's understandable why Young Miami looked to someone like Diddy, who appeared to be a fantastic chance to advance her career and income, given the difficulties facing her organization. Young Miami likely perceived Diddy as a huge break at the moment because he is a millionaire and a prominent figure in hip-hop. In her interview, she expressed her belief that he could assist her in going it alone. She claimed that Diddy would heavily link her brand to his own by promoting her, claiming to believe in her, and investing in her. Here's the problem, though. Young Miami seems to have made numerous trades in exchange for Diddy's backing. In order to capitalize on his wealth and connections, she sacrificed elements of her brand and even her personal reputation, which increased her level of notoriety. Up to Diddy's demise, everything appeared to be going smoothly. Young Miami's entire world collapsed as his troubles began. It's evident from watching her podcast interview that she's going through a difficult time. She used to give the impression that she had it all, but now she's talking about how depressed, lonely, and struggling she is. She has lost money, her music isn't doing well, and her brand is collapsing. She seems to have lost a lot, and the effects on her are evident.
Kind of like, fuck this shit. And then, the next minute, I'm looking at my kids and I'm like, I ain't bring us this far to go backwards.
Yeah.
I work hard. You get what I'm saying? Like, I put in a lot of time and effort in this shit.
You've heard a little about the struggles that Young Miami is facing, and to be honest, people feel some pity for her. Not everybody does. Online comments state that Miami believed she was superior to JT since she was playing with Diddy. Well, that was a play on the tears. She doesn't regret it either. She is simply making this statement in response to the criticism Diddy is getting. But it was nice of her to act that way. There is, however, a group that does. Perhaps some people are finding success with this whole PR pity thing. Her tears appear sincere, regardless of whether they are for publicity or not. You have to give her credit for being honest about her feelings, even though she isn't entirely innocent. We most likely witnessed this side of her because of Saucy Santana as well. It is obvious that he is a terrific friend. At last, Young Miami addressed Diddy and the drama, declaring that they are no longer together. In a quite unexpected turn of events, she even said that they fell in love.
On these allegations because I wasn't around at the time. I don't know that person and that wasn't my experience.
So with you being, I feel like, a survivor of domestic violence, he never hit you in a relationship. He was never violent. Was that something that you had to tolerate, or that's just that wasn't a part of, because I feel like that's the biggest thing to him right now is, what he going through in these lawsuits and, that video that came out.
I've been through domestic violence in 2 relationships, and I told myself after the second relationship I would never put myself in that situation again. Especially now being a mom. I'm a mom. I was a mother then, but I have my daughter. Like, I would never put myself in that position. I don't stand for domestic violence. I'm just not going for that.
So do you feel like with dating Diddy, like, was it a business relationship? Do you feel like it was beneficial for you?
I feel like it was beneficial for both of us. You know, I met him at a pink party, and I don't know what his intentions was, but I don't know if it was like business or he really liked me, but I felt like, you know, when he got me, he really saw something in me, and that's why he was like, you know what, you got a big personality, like, you should do a podcast. Like, you know how to engage in conversations, like you know how to ask good questions. So I felt like, you know, I came into his world and I was able to like turn everything he had going on up.
What's wrong with JT now? The true question is that Young Miami and JT were part of the City Girls, but they both went solo, therefore the group essentially fell apart. Ego conflicts, financial difficulties, and artistic disagreements were major factors in the breakup. Young Miami began concentrating more on her own career as a result of pressure from fans and others to go solo. JT felt excluded since she was spending time with Saucy Santana and doing activities without him. People were less interested in the City Girls as Young Miami gained prominence, despite JT's desire to keep the group together and continue working on their songs. JT began to feel as though no one was listening to her. Despite feeling abandoned, several people believed that JT should go solo because she is a gifted rapper. It's interesting to note that, despite her reluctance to pursue music without Young Miami and Saucy Santana, JT was really pushed to pursue her own solo career. JT stated that she was reluctant to work with Young Miami on a song when someone asked her to. Young Miami urged her to do so, but since Young Miami was concentrating on her own career, JT concluded she had to do it alone. JT's decision to go solo was a significant one, and she now appears to be a lot happier and pursuing her own goals. However, Young Miami was likely a little uncomfortable with JT going solo. Despite JT's superior rapping skills, Young Miami was accustomed to being the group's star. Young Miami lost prominence as JT's solo career took off and she began to receive more features. Since she had been receiving plenty of features without JT, Young Miami didn't like seeing JT receive any. When JT was featured on Nicki Minaj's Super Freaky Girl remix, the tension increased even further. Young Miami felt left out of the remix and believed it was JT's problem to deal with, which is why she was furious and didn't back JT during her Twitter feud with Cardi B. Young Miami expressed her opinions, which many people found offensive since they believed she was disparaging JT. Following their argument on social media, the two aren't in the best of moods at the moment. They have reconciled, yet there is still some tension between them. There appears to be a great deal of ego involved. Each girl wants to be the star of her own show. Young Miami, although not being a rapper, desired her own fame and financial success, and JT has always aspired to be a rap star. They both want attention, so when one begins to receive more than the other, problems arise. Young Miami may be experiencing the same emotions that JT did when she was overshadowed a few years back. Young Miami is beginning to feel excluded and irritated as JT succeeds on her own, particularly considering that the City Girls served as her backup. Young Miami's recent remarks have caused a commotion, and although some believe she treated JT unfairly, I can see why she would want to voice her emotions. She did appear to misrepresent several facts, such as saying that no one checked on her while JT said that she did, and bringing up the Nicki Minaj remix in the argument between Cardi B and JT when it was actually more personal. Opening out like that is difficult, though, and I hope she has the finest future. JT refuted Miami's assertions that no one checked on her, claiming that she had contacted them. Some fans believe Miami may have distorted some aspects of their relationship as a result of this disparity. Furthermore, Miami's comments regarding the rivalry between Cardi B and JT appeared to deflect attention from private matters to business disputes, which some feel lessened the seriousness of their predicament. Thus, the worlds of JT and Young Miami have seen a great deal of conflict and changing dynamics. Strong feelings have been triggered by Young Miami's remarks regarding JT and her recent split from Diddy. With both ladies attempting to forge their own careers and achieve their own success, it is evident that a great deal of ego and ambition are at work. Young Miami is feeling a little left behind as JT's solo career continues to grow, particularly since that their group, the City Girls, isn't the main attraction it once was. It's crucial to keep in mind that these are actual individuals navigating difficult emotions and circumstances, despite the stress and the odd slip-up in their handling of the situation. Even if it may be a little contentious, young Miami's openness about her sentiments reveals that she is currently dealing with a lot. We'll have to wait and watch how they both handle their professional and personal obstacles. Let's hope for some progress and resolution for them both, and stay tuned for additional developments.